Good afternoon, who knows what time it is. I was planning on doing this earlier, but just a little update. We now have both girls home with us as of about 2 weeks ago. They are 3 months old, so yeah, it's been a journey. Turns out it's not that easy to get some free time when you have twins. I've got both of them next to me, so we'll see how well it goes filming, trying to keep them quiet at the same time. But for now, they're changed, they're fed, they're sleeping. We should be good to go, I say. I did have a lot of grand ideas for this video as well. But here I am in my pajamas. But hey, it's real. So I thought, whilst everyone's self-isolating, why not bring out some content? And if there's one thing, well, two things the last video taught me. One, I say too much, which my boyfriend pointed out about 20 times. And two, I really need a haircut. I got like 2 layers of hair. There's one short layer and one long hair layer. So in some bits I look like I've got a bob, and in some bits I look like I've got long hair. And then otherwise it's just 2 layers. There's nothing in between. It was a realization. So when trying to think of kind of what should come next, I just thought, right, let's start from the beginning. So I thought I'd go through finding out I was pregnant, and then finding out we were having twins, because obviously there was a bit of a gap in between the two. So basically I was just doing normal stuff. I was working, we had our new flat, which we kind of just moved into in the December time. Kind of first place together, with my boyfriend, obviously been together 3, maybe a bit more years at that point. Planning all our holidays, more importantly, because that's what we live for, is holidays. Getting on well at work, everything, just normal stuff. And then gotta stop saying that. Then, no, and I was only like a week late, 2 weeks late, if that. And I took a test, and it was one of those clear blue ones that tells you how many weeks you are. It said 2 to 3 weeks pregnant. Not gonna lie, at the time we were like, okay, wow, this is a lot. And we did have a few days where we were kind of just we're in limbo, really. Like, is this happening? Are we gonna do it? But I think we went straight to my boyfriend's sister and told her, and just sat there kind of looking all shocked, and she was like, what are you telling me? Like, are you pregnant? What? I was like, yeah, I think so. But yeah, after a few days we were like, right, okay, we're doing this. Let's do it. We didn't know where, if we were going to stay in our flat. We didn't know logistics at all, but we thought, yeah, okay, let's go for it. Yeah, I've wanted baby since I was about 8. In fact, forever. So yeah, that's how we found out. And then after that, I was going on holiday with my mom. I got her a holiday to Sicily for a week, so I did that. Sicily with no wine is interesting, but still, food's amazing. Like, we just kind of lay on the beach, and the heat. Even when you're early in your pregnancy, I was a few, let's say 8 weeks, if that. I just found out, and oh my god, it was intense. Like, the heat was just getting to me, and I was in the shade most of the time, which also, I know you should be, but it is, I'm normally a sun worshipper and just love sunbathing, so that wasn't like me. But yeah, it was a lot, and I was in bed by 10 p.m. most nights, which my poor mum had to just kind of put up with, because yeah, she wasn't going to go out on her own. So I think she would have liked some more wine and some more nights out in Sicily, but oh well. She looked after me instead. And then yeah, in the August, I was around 12 weeks, we went to Cyprus for 2.5 weeks. Cyprus in August is a lot, pregnant or not. It's fair play to the people that live out there in any hot country and just do the pregnant thing in the heat, because it's intense. I cried a lot. I enjoyed it, had the best time because there was a group of us out there, and I just spent kind of the whole time relaxing. It wasn't really, didn't really do anything too strenuous. We like all went to a spa retreat. We travelled around a bit. We ate a lot. Went on the beach a lot every day. So yeah, it wasn't like it was tiring, but 40 degrees when you're pregnant, you feel it. You really feel it. I was trying my hardest not to feel ill all the time, because I was thinking, right, just get on with it. Like, I didn't feel that sick enough to justify like feeling sick. I just felt a bit icky the whole time. Like 2.5 weeks of feeling icky in 40 degrees is not ideal. I don't think anyone noticed. It was just my partner that I'd kind of vent to every so often when I didn't want to go out anywhere. And I think I cried. I was about 12 weeks there, and I think I hit the point where you are crying for no reason. I think he just kind of accepted the fact that he was saying, "Do you just need a cry?" And I'd be like, "Yes." And then I'd spend the journey back from the beach just sobbing, and I didn't really know why. So yeah, we had 2 holidays, and then the day we got back from Cyprus, I think I was about 13.5 weeks, we had our first scan. We had our first scan, so we were so excited. We hadn't really told anybody about the pregnancy apart from close family, and we went in, lay on the bed, and as soon as she touched the scanning thing onto my tummy, there was two little dots that I could see, and we all looked at the screen, and I don't know. I don't know if how quickly it occurred to me, but I definitely straight away thought that looks like two. And I think we all thought the same thing, because the sonographer, me, and my partner were all just kind of in silence staring at the screen. And then the sonographer, I think she was actually a trainee, so she looked kind of nervous. She looked at me and she said, "Is this an IVF pregnancy or?" And as soon as she said that, I thought, "Oh my god, she's telling me." Well, she's noticed that it's twins. Like, I've seen Friends when Phoebe gets triplets. Like, I know that's how this works. So yeah, and then she said, "I'm pretty sure I can see two, but let me just go and get my colleague and he can double check." And she disappeared out the room, and we just looked at each other, and my whole body was just started shaking. Just, I don't know why, because it's not, I don't know, but it's just a shock. It's a lot to take in one go. So I just was overcome with like, okay, wow. And then we just both started laughing, hysterical laughter. Anyway, she came in with her colleague, who was quite a serious man, and he was trying to do this, just to confirm that there was two. And we were just laughing. I couldn't help it. I think my partner was like looking for a door to run out of for a minute, but there was nowhere to escape. And it was, yeah, it was a lot. And she was like, "Do you need me to stop?" And I was like, just to carry on. Yeah, they confirmed that it was two. So yeah, you're just kind of trying to process that. And then the sonographer said, "Okay, do you mind if we do an internal scan, because we need to check whether there's two placentas, they're sharing a sac, what type of twins they are." I was like, "Yeah, fine, we'll do an internal scan," thinking they meant next time. No, right then. He's like, "Okay, whip your trousers off." And they get this kind of probe thing. It's not painful, obviously, it's not painful, but yeah, you kind of go in expecting to see this, baby, and then come away with your little photos. But I came out being internally scanned this massive probe thing, finding out I have 2. So I don't think it sunk in. It really didn't. I phoned my mom as soon as we left, and she was at work, and I said, can you talk? And she said, yeah, fine, what's up? Because she didn't realise that I was about to tell something. I was like, no, can you talk? Like, really talk? And she was like, yeah, what's up? And she went, is there 2? And I just thought, I sod it. I said, yeah, I can't say what she said, but she was like, over the moon, but so shocked. So she just kept swearing, and I could hear her like running out of her office, trying to get some air, and then just again laughing. A lot of people's reaction was just kind of, I think it's when you're shocked and you don't expect to be told something, you just laugh. Like, it's what I did, it's what my boyfriend did, it's what my mom did. I'm just rocking one of them to sleep. I'm not coming really close to the camera. So yeah, we sat in the car for about 10 minutes afterwards, just kind of looking at the scans, and then you start to get really excited, and you're like, okay, we got twins, like this is amazing. And it's, for some reason, I don't know if I'm making this up, but for some reason before my scan I was thinking, oh my god, imagine there's 2. And I kept thinking it, and I thought that was normal, that all mums before their scan were like, oh my god, imagine it's twins. But then my mum was like, okay, I never thought that with any of my children. So I don't know, maybe I knew, maybe I'm making that up. But anyway, we sat in the car and just stared at these photos, and then just, excitement sinks in, and you're just want to tell everyone. We want to tell everyone straight away. And we went back to my boyfriend's house, and no one was there. There is normally always somebody there, always. His sister and all of the girls and the girlfriends and everyone were at Chessington. Was that like a theme park? All of the ones that we'd want to tell were there, so that counted them out. My boyfriend's parents had gone for a day out in London, like they'd gone on the London Eye, which never happens. Like I can't remember, I've never known them to have a day out properly since I've known them, and that was the day they picked to have their day out. So they were swanning around London and obviously phoning us to see how the scan went, and we were having to say, oh, fine, yeah, fine, everything's fine, see you when you get home, because we didn't want to tell them over the phone because it's such big news. We wanted to kind of see everyone's reaction. So everyone was out, basically. My family live in Birmingham, so, well, near Birmingham, so there was no chance of telling any of them in person. So we went home and had a nap, just while we waited for it to sink in, I think. And then we woke up and thought, did that just happen? Or did we just have this weird, really realistic dream? And then, no, it did happen. The scan photos are there. So, okay, hopefully people are home now. So, we went and told everybody at my boyfriend's house, and I will pop some of the reaction videos here. I'll have to mute quite a bit of it because I was... Yeah, people swear when you tell them big news, so...
What, are they the same baby? Have you got twins? Oh! No!
You're joking.
Have you got twins?
Identical twins.
Shut your mouth. Are you joking?
Wow.
Joking?
Seriously.
Shut up.
It's an other baby.
What do you mean? They're twins? What? You lot are joking.
T1, T2. Identical twins.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so we had to wait to tell my family because I wanted to see them in person, and I think it was like another 2 weeks before I could visit. Obviously my mum knew, but I didn't want to tell anyone else over the phone, so we waited another 2 weeks to go and visit, like, my dad, my brothers, my grandparents, my auntie and uncle, my cousins, to tell them. And I think everyone knew I had news. Like, my dad didn't even know I was pregnant, neither did my brothers, neither did no one knew I was pregnant apart from my mom. So I think everyone knew that I was coming back to tell them something, so everyone had kind of figured it out. My dad was like,
There's the three I guess at is pregnant, married, and going to live in Cyprus. Twins. Wow, are you ready for this? Twins.
My grandma knew because she used to be a midwife, so I think I'd met her for lunch when I was in the very early stages, and somehow she knew. She'd already figured out my due date. That's how much she knew. See, she didn't know it was twins, so that was the next. I still managed to surprise her, so I'm glad she didn't figure that out. But yeah, everyone was just. It's kind of awkward sometimes because when you tell people big news, they're like, and they just stare at you, and you kind of surprise. Then it came to telling my work. Now my work are not your average office. It's like a bunch of kids, which I love. I couldn't really have it any other way. And I was really nervous, like really nervous about telling them. I don't know why, I just really was nervous. And my boss was like, right, we're telling them today. And I was like, no, do it tomorrow. So it came to the point where, okay, we had to tell them, and we had the Friday kind of roundup, Friday drinks. And so it was a room full of everyone. There was about, I think there's about 30, 40 people in the office. I don't know. I made my boss say it. I didn't want to say it. I don't know why. So yeah, I made my boss say it, and he was like, "So I've got some news. Lauren is pregnant," and everyone was like, "Yeah!" like cheering and clapping and whatever. And I was like, gold teary. And then he went, "Wait, with identical twins," and the room just went silent, and I was like, oh my god. And my friend was filming it. I can't even watch it back because I don't want to see my awkward face when everyone just fell silent. It was like trying to kind of like overcompensate by laughing loads, and yeah, just kind of wanted the ground to swallow me at that moment. But then after that, everyone, you know, after like a good 10 seconds, everyone was like, oh my god. Yeah, everyone gave me a hug, which was less awkward. But yeah, that was probably the most awkward one. So yeah, then just like pregnant life with twins just started. And you know, I'm surprised because I didn't really have that many intense symptoms of a twin pregnancy. You know, I've read a lot about people having everything kind of in double, but I didn't really have that. I felt, just as I said, I just felt a bit icky all the time. Not kind of to stop me from doing anything, but just a bit off until the second trimester. But anyway, I'll do another video about twin pregnancy later on because there's a lot more to talk about. That's finding out. That's, yeah, my story of the first kind of 13, 14 weeks of being pregnant. So yeah, as I said, just an update on where we're at the moment. We have both twins at home. So twin two spent 12 weeks in NICU, 2 different hospitals. Bless her, she's had a bit of a rough time, and I think it was bittersweet leaving NICU really, because it's been so long. It's been like a unusually long time to be in somewhere every day, and I got to know all the nurses. It kind of became home from home, and because I knew she'd had a couple of hiccups, I felt really secure with her being there, knowing all of the staff and everything like that. So I was really sad to leave, which I think, I don't know if that's normal or if people have felt sad to leave, or I'd be interested to know that actually, because yeah, I felt like so elated to have them both home and to have her home and to really get to know her. You know, normal things that you do with a newborn baby, which you don't get to do. And obviously I'd taken twin one home before that, so I'd gotten to know her, and I was just excited to have them both home. But yeah, apprehensive, I think is the word, to have no monitors and none of that security that you don't realise you rely on, but you really rely on, because you're not far away from help at any point when you're in there. Yeah, I know. Here you are. I think I've been lucky so far. They've both been really quiet, and I think now is probably the time they're going to start squeaking. Yeah, we brought her home. It's not goodbye to NICU yet because we still have a few appointments to go there. So I still see them. I'll see them this week. It'll be. Oh, okay. Definitely keep in touch with a few of them once I've left officially, and we'll take the girls in to see them as well, because I think it must be difficult when you look after, well, I don't know, might be easy, but I think from my perspective it would be difficult to kind of get to know babies so much, and parents as well, and then just kind of not know what happens next. Like, you get to know them so well and they've done so much for you, these nurses. No way of saying thank you, really. There genuinely isn't a way of saying thank you to them for the work that they do, and that goes for the NHS. The entire NHS are just incredible, and I think that's one thing this whole journey's made me realise. The NHS at the moment has a few things that need fixing. Now, that aside, the people that work in the NHS are incredible, and it made me emotional a lot. These people choose to be here and to give these babies this care so selflessly, and you worry so much about the love that the babies have when you leave, and you know, are they just in a cot, kind of just fed, changed, put down, fed, changed, put down. And I felt good leaving because I knew that it wasn't just that, and they, as much as they know they've got a job to do, they also understand that they're babies and they need affection, and they need the stuff like singing too. Like, you underestimate how important that is. So yeah, I have both of them home with me. It's been amazing. It's been a lot. It's been all lots of things in one, really. We've both had to just muck in. There's no you've done this, you've done that. It's just both get on with it. Like, you just have to. You take a baby each and you kind of get on with it. I think that's the way we've approached it so far. Is like, okay, for the next few hours, that's your baby, that's my baby. Go. Do what you got to do. And in the daytime, they're quite settled. They kind of feed, sleep, have the odd look at some lights or something, and then go back to sleep. So for now, it's not so bad. I'm fully aware that it's not going to be that simple once they're out of this kind of newborn stage. Even though they're 3 months old, they're like 2 weeks old, corrected age. So I'm aware that it's not always going to be this easy, but I'll ride it while it is this easy. Easy is a weird word, but this straightforward. My life is literally express feed, feed, change, express feed, sterilize, feed, sleep, maybe, and then repeat. I'll be showing them soon, properly, but for now, yeah, I will. Don't know. I'll show them soon when they're a bit bigger and sturdier. So yeah, they're tiny, but oh my gosh, they know what they want. Hence the name Tiny But Mighties. I think that just sums them up perfectly. They obviously so small when they were born, and they're still tiny at 3 months old, but they're just amazing and so strong, and they've got their little personalities already. And yeah, I'm really enjoying kind of seeing them blossom at home. And just, I thought that we'd have this lovely, like, reunion because they'd never met before. They hadn't met in the hospital because they were always in different incubators, and when one came out of the incubator, the other one was still in there. They'd literally never been next to each other since they were in my tummy. So that was like ripping my heart apart most of the time, the fact that they'd never met. So it was this big excitement to get home and to put them together, and just reunite them. And I thought, you know, they're gonna be so happy to see each other. They won't even make eye contact. Is that normal, twin moms? I don't know. Like, they like repel each other like magnets. Like, we try and put them opposite each other, and the other one's like, nope, I want to look this way. Actually, I really want to look this way. So it wasn't quite the emotional meeting that I I'd anticipated, but then they are babies, so I suppose it makes sense. What is happening to my hair? But yeah, I'll end this one here. Next time I'm going to be talking about a bit more about my twin pregnancy from what I can remember, because it all went very, very quickly. But more importantly, I want to actually talk about I think. Oh. Say hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Anyway, so we're talking about my my twin pregnancy. Briefly, I don't feel like I've got much light to share on that just because it was so quick. But what I do want to talk about is when I got to 23 and a half weeks, we found out that they had twin transfusion syndrome, which I'll talk about a little bit more in my next video because I wanted to cover that. So I had to have surgery quite urgently to save them, I guess. Didn't I? Yeah, the information on that is terrible. Yes, it's not great. It's not ideal in twin pregnancy because that's what they kind of, when you have your scans, it's like, okay, this is great that you've got identical twins, but here's the risks, and then they get out this, long list of information to give to you. So yeah, you're aware that the risks are there, and then when they happen, it's like, okay, this we kind of knew that there was a chance of this happening. And then you go to do your research and it's just terrible, and there's no, I've just wanted someone to talk to, someone normal to talk to, who'd been through it, who I didn't have much time because it was all, found out and had surgery within 4 days. But I just wanted to just hear someone's honest advice. So I will talk about it properly. I think I want to do that for other people that might be going through the same thing, or just other people that are curious. Either one, but how I found out, the whole process, the surgery, the recovery, the symptoms, kind of recognizing. I mean, I didn't really recognize it, but looking back, things to look out for. Just so if you are expecting identical twins and you do want to know, or it's happening to you, or you think you might feel a bit off, then yeah, there's something to look at, because it's really limited, and obviously it's not that common, so that's why it's limited. But I understand that, but I can then be the one to inform people, really. So yeah, that's what my next video will be focusing on. Anyways, thanks for watching, peeps. I think I've rambled there, but I have to get used to it.